All right, so we're back in my driveway. The goal for right now is initially just make sure that it's roadworthy. The brakes are working good, and the sway bar bushings are absolutely trashed. There's virtually nothing left of them. The rest of the suspension bushings actually look pretty dang good. They've been well maintained. They've been greased regularly, and they don't look bad. Everything on the underside, however, is just an absolute mess. Everything is just covered in oil, worse than anything I've ever seen. Like I said, everything on this engine was leaking. I mean, valve covers, rear main seal, oil pan, timing cover, everything. Now I've already gone through and I've replaced all that stuff on the engine, but I did nick the rear main seal, and I think it's still leaking a little bit because my screw up when I installed it. So I'll probably end up replacing that again as well. Really not that big of a deal. While I was in there, I also did the timing chain and timing cover. Initially, I bought this truck just to fix it up, turn it into a four-wheel drive, and drive and enjoy it. But I figure since I bought it, I might as well show you guys what I'm doing, what I'm up to, and hopefully enjoy the videos. Hopefully this build series goes well. So for now, get it ready, get it roadworthy, drive it, enjoy it, save up money so that I can put a short bed on it and take and eventually put an LS and a 4L80. Because the end goal of this is to just have a nice daily driver with as good as gas mileage as you can imagine. You know, like I showed you before, it weighed 5,600 pounds, so it's a giant truck. It's got the 373, the RPO code is GT5, and then it's also got a G80 rear differential, and it's a full float 14 bolt. I originally gave $1,500 for this truck, and you know, while it doesn't look very nice. It doesn't look all that incredible, but it is 100% rust free. There's zero rust on this truck, aside from a little bit of surface rust on the bed. There is zero cancer. There's nothing to complain about. It runs, it drives, and the interior is still complete. All of the trim panels are still there. All of the trim pieces. All that needs to be done is they need to be cleaned up and probably dyed or painted, whatever you want to call it. And then the dashboard needs to be replaced. Clearly that's not going to work. So first things first, let's get the brakes done and the sway bars, and then we'll go for a drive. We'll see how that turns out. Alright, so let's take a look at this. Look at how coated this is. The majority of it is from my power steering box. There's so much slop in this rag joint. I'm going to rebuild the oh my gosh. I'm going to rebuild the steering box, and I'll be putting a Jeep Cherokee steering shaft in there as well. But yeah, so for now, I'm going to go ahead and get my pressure washer and some purple power, and I'm going to clean the living daylights out of all of this. So look at how bad that is. And then let me show you the sway bar bushing. See, there isn't one. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and replace those while I'm in here, so we get that taken care of. All right, let's do it. Alright, I just wanted to give you guys a glimpse at how disgusting this was. It's not perfect now, but it is far, far better than what it was. And I can even get to the, you can't hardly even see them, but I can get to the sway bar bolts now. Before I couldn't even see them. So yeah, everything's a lot cleaner now. That was disgusting. So anyway, let's get on with the brakes. All right, so what we're looking at right now is this bolt right here. This is on the top, and then there's a matching one right there down on the bottom. So let me see if I can get this to come, both of them. And then these are on this model year, they're 3/8 Allen, and the later models is a I think it's a T56, I want to say, but it's actually a torque spit on later model vehicles, 90s. Alright, so check this out. You see that? Look at that thickness different, the difference in the thickness right there. So one side was sticking up, or was hanging up. So that's why it needed to be replaced. Shoot, that's damn near brand new. So if we look at the bolts, caliper retaining bolts, or also the sliders. These are pretty well gummed up, so, but they look good. So I'm just gonna clean them up and put them back in. Everything should be fine. But all of that gunk it's gotten all over these things has just prevented that brake from returning back to center. So unfortunately, that's the cause. But yeah, so I'll clean these up and then get the new brake pads and put those on and put it back together. All right, so now what I'm looking at right here is they don't look too bad. They don't look too bad. There's a little bit of wear right here. You can barely see it. And then this one has a little tiny bit right here. But I'm confident that I'll be able to put this back together and it won't give me any issues. I think I'm going to end up replacing the brake caliper and rotor anyway. But right now, I'm just going to get it back on the road. Everything should work fine for now. Fingers crossed anyway. And then the brakes that I went with were the O'Reilly Special Brake Select Premium, whatever, SM52 semi-metallic. I don't know. So these are directional. The one with the tabs goes on the outboard side, and the one with the hoops goes on the inboard side. So then when we put these on, your guide pins will go through there. And before I put these guide pins back in, I'm going to run a little bit of grease on them, and then I'm going to put some quiet, disc brake quiet on there. So rub it on the outside right here on both pads, put it back together, drop the calipers on, done. And then one step I almost forgot to mention is you got to put the clamp on. You have to be able to push the piston back inside of there in order to be able to fit the new pads. All right, so the sway bars. So, or sway bar, excuse me, anti-roll bar, whatever you want to call it, tomato. You've got these two up here in the front, so you got to take those down, right? Up underneath the bumper, and then you have the two on your lower control arm, and you've got that on both sides. And we're going to go ahead and replace all four. These two that are still actually in place look pretty rough, and then clearly you can see they're just flat out isn't any over here. So let me get that taken. Alright guys, so in the middle of my making the video for the brakes and sway bar bushings, it started pouring down rain on me. So just to show you guys what's up, I did end up finishing the sway bar bushings and the brakes. So anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.